In this video, we're looking at the Saturn Pluto Conjunction. So this is happening on the 12th of January. It's going to last till October. And you can see here they're both together. It's a bit unclear there, but we have Saturn here 22 degrees and Pluto 22 degrees. So there's been a lot of information about how this may affect us on a global level. We can just look at recent events, tensions in the Middle East, massive fires in Australia, and also a lot of protests. Basically, it's in Capricorn, we have much more of this themes of government and their positions, a lot of politics. So we could definitely see this year and in the coming years big changes in politics and just in general society, economically as well as possible. But I feel because it's in Capricorn, it'll be a little bit more muted, a bit more stable than if it was in another sign, mainly because Saturn is in its home sign in Capricorn. So we just want to look here at how it affects us personally quickly. And so we can see, if we look at our transit chart, if you go to the chart, so what we want to look at here is where Saturn and Pluto are in your chart, in which house. In this case, it's in the 10th house of this person. So that's probably one of the better positions to have, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. But there can be problems when it comes to the Pluto side of things, where there's some secrecy, manipulation, control, and it could end up, say, having problems with work or career if there's been some shady activity going on. And because I feel like there is some sort of reckoning that comes from this. We can see it in the media as well, with the Me Too movement, these themes like that. And people say the Jeffrey Epstein case, where the secrets are no longer secret and it's harder to keep people in the dark with things. So that's where a good idea to keep when thinking about what themes are coming up in that particular house. For example, if it was in the 3rd house, there could be a lot more influence on your communication and how you work with ideas and people. And there also could be some people that might want to deceive you or perhaps control or manipulate. I mean, but the thing is, because it's in Capricorn, I feel like there's this practical side, there's ability to utilize this energy in a positive way. And here, I think another key is to look at where perhaps some aspects are happening here. We can see that there's some squares here to their moon and a square to their natal Pluto. So for this particular individual, I'd say that there's probably up until now, especially it's at 20 degrees, so the closer it is to 22, the more stronger it is. Probably already experienced some issues around the Saturn squares, moon, and you can see those aspects when you look into the aspect view and look down the Saturn row and also the Pluto row, or column should I say, and you can find, say here, there's Saturn square moon. So these themes that are happening within Saturn and the transiting specifically your personal planets will be where you get affected the most. So there's probably a lot of emotional upheavals for this person, and things like loneliness and inability to kind of connect. Now if we go forward a bit, because this is going for a while, so we select a date like late, let's say August now. So this is not just something that will be over in a day or so. You can see by August they are kind of out. They're 4 degrees apart, but at the same time they're still connected on a certain level, both going retrograde in August. And in this time you can see that the aspects are different. It's still obviously 10th house, but we also have this trine to Saturn. So, and those other squares have long gone. So the change could be quite long term. Over the course of the year, things can shift a lot. So it's important to look at those aspects, and you can see them in greater detail when you go to that monthly report. You'll see that they come up with the Saturn positions, the Saturn aspects as well. And so these aspects will help you understand where and how this particular conjunction of Saturn and Pluto will lead you this year.